Hi Gemini, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. Gemini, this is your reading for the end of May 2024. So I thought I'd take a look at your energy for the end of the month, and this will be your last reading until I put out your June monthly reading. And so in today's reading, we're going to be looking at what situation you're sitting in, whether it's a problem, whether it's a decision you're making, whether it's a pattern that's showing up. And then what I'm going to do in the next line of my tarot is I'm going to look at what is unhealed in your unconscious. What is coming up from your shadow that is affecting or having a huge impact on the situation that you're sitting in. And so we're going to be doing a little bit of shadow work in this line. And so if you're not familiar with the two terms, shadow and shadow work, I'm going to leave a video for you in my description box below, and I'm also going to leave it in the comments section. And it's going to be called my 4-step guide to shadow work, and very powerful. It's something that I put together, which was based on my own healing that I'm doing, my own shadow work healing that I've been doing for the last 7 years intensively. And so it's kind of a compilation of everything I've put out there on my other channel called Carol Cares. And it'll link a lot of the videos over to that channel, and it'll just give you a good idea of what shadow work is. Even if you know what shadow work is, it's awesome just to get some more tools for you. And so what's coming up from your shadow is going to have a huge impact always on what's going on with you and what situation you're sitting with right now. And then finally, in the last line, I'm going to look at, ask the tarot for some guidance for you, where you need to take this to heal what's sitting in your unconscious or in your shadow, so that you can move on from the situation you're sitting in. And so I'm going to begin with, I'm going to pull a few cards from the Tarot of the Abyss by Tourian. It's my favorite and my only black and white deck here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify each card with the Rider-Waite deck to really give you a good reading, and hopefully and I hope you're going to resonate with it. And let me know below if you do. I always like getting comments from people. So we'll begin, Gemini, and I'm going to ask Tarot right now for what situation, issue, pattern is Gemini dealing with right now. You have the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles. Next, I'm going to ask what's coming up from your shadow that's having an impact on this. One card flipped right here. The Hermit card. The Hermit card. And finally, guidance from the tarot. Ooh, that one came flying out. The Empress card. Wow. Major Arcana card for you here. Okay, so let's clarify. Can you tell me some more about the 8 of Pentacles here? Let me just give these a couple of shuffles. One more. All right, the 8 of Pentacles. Couple. Oh, that one came out. Oh, okay. All right, so definitely did get our cards here. We got to the 8 of Swords, the Star card, the 9 of Cups in reverse, and the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Can you tell me some more about this Hermit, please? You have the 7 of Pentacles, the Devil card in reverse, and I'm going to ask for one more card, please, for this Hermit card. King of Swords. Okay, 3 cards, please, for the Empress. Okay, you have the Page of Cups, the Emperor in reverse, the Justice card in reverse, 2 major arcana. So last row you have 3 major arcana, powerful forces here coming in for you, and the 9 of Wands here. So notice you have a lot of 9s. 9s are like almost, you know, completing. The pip cards go from 1 to 10 in the minor arcana, and so the 9 tells me you're like nearing the 10. You're almost not there yet. So we'll see how that comes out into play in each line. So you start off with the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles here you have this individual here doing a job. This is a job that you've been spending a lot of time on. You know, I'm not sure if usually the 8 of Pentacles, it's like a job that you're enjoying doing that, but it's a job that you've been doing for a while. Yeah, so let's see what the situation here is like. I mean, normally it's a job that you've enjoyed and you enjoy doing, but I'm seeing here right behind it is a clarification. That's the 8 of Pentacles, or sorry, the 8 of Swords here. And so the 8 of Swords speaks of, you know, this mental energy where you're just feeling like you're in a trapped situation. So I don't know if this is, you know, a job that you're finally figuring out, you know, is there something else out there for me? And you're just tired of this job and you've committed a lot of time to it, or it's something that you're doing, you know, and you're wondering, you know, maybe it could be something that you've volunteering for and you've just spent a lot of your time doing it. But whatever it is, you're feeling like you can't get out of it, like you're just not seeing. You know, a lot of times when we are stuck in a situation, or if it's a job, for example, we don't see that a way out, like, especially if it's a job where it's financially stable and you're not sure about, I don't know if I should switch now. I just don't know what else I could do. And you're very much seeing that you're tied up, but this woman is not tied up, if you notice. She can walk away from this situation, but I think that she has her blindfold on and she's just thinking, you know, I just don't see a way out of this. And so the heart, the Star card comes up, and it tells me that there's some healing that needs to be done around this. You know, there's some real emotions that are coming up around this whole. It's like it's a real triggering situation for you. Maybe you've been at this before. Maybe you've thought about it before and you just stuck with it and you just haven't been able to pull yourself away from this situation, whatever it is. But there's some real triggering going on here. And so when you have triggering going on in your life, when you have something that you're just really feeling stuck in a situation that you can't get out of, there is definitely something buried in your unconscious that is having an effect on this. And the 9 of Cups comes out, and it really kind of explains that. I'm wondering if you have had this situation come up before where, you know, maybe you've thought about leaving this situation, this job, whatever it is that you've been committing yourself a lot of time to, and it's come up and you've pushed it down. It's come up and you've pushed the feelings down again. And you've kind of like, this 9 of Cups here is in an upright position. It tells me this individual is sitting here, and this is your first 9. So this tells me that your situation is, you're sitting here with your arms crossed, you're done. Like you're not willing to take that 10th cup and feel. There's more to feel here. There's always more to feel, right? But it's like you've kind of been sitting again where you've pushed it down. It's like, nope, not going to touch it again. And so I can see here that these emotions that are coming up for you that need healing, you're just not willing to look at it right now. I mean, you do have your blindfold on right here. This card here that says, I'm stuck in this situation. I want out of this situation, but you're not doing anything about it. You're feeling like you're just stuck in it. And, or you think that you can't do anything. And the other 9 that comes up is the 9 of Pentacles, right? And the 9 of Pentacles talks to me about just feeling some, after when you do something, it's usually, it comes after the 8 of Pentacles, which is the situation that you're sitting with at the beginning. But this card is like saying, there is abundance out there. There is something out there for you that you're meant to do. And maybe you know what it is, and maybe it's something that you want to walk towards, but you're not sure about doing that. You're not sure about leaving the situation that you're in right now, but you're feeling stuck in it. But there's something out there and it's blocked. There's a resistance to going out and getting it. So what's coming up in your shadow? Like, what is this all triggering? What's happening here? The Hermit card comes in, and the Hermit card is all about look at this individual. It's like, and there's someone that's in the desert. Look at the hair on this individual. They've been here for a while here. And so, and when I said they've been here for a while, it's like there's been something brewing in your shadow that's been here for a while, that's wanting you to go inwards. The Hermit card is all about going inwards, taking a look at this. And when we go inwards, it means we're going to get still. We're going to carve some time out for ourselves, and we're going to see what it is in this shadow that keeps coming up. It's like this thing that keeps bugging us that won't go away. And you've tried. You've tried to push it down, and you've tried to make this go away, and it's not, and it's coming up again. This is about these recurring patterns that I see, that I talked about at the beginning, where they show up sometimes, and we just push them back down, and it keeps coming up, and we push it back down. So what is this that needs healing? Well, here's this individual, the 7 of Pentacles card. And this is the individual about, working all their life to hold all these pentacles. And they're done. And they look at it and they go, is this everything? Is this it? And so I'm wondering if there's something in your shadow. There's a belief system maybe that you have that says, kind of like you work and you work and you work and you work, and then what? And so here you are, you work and you work and you work, and then what? But you don't see anything beyond that. You don't that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I was supposed to just work, and then you just, you get all this abundance coming in, but here is all this abundance that comes in. There's something else out there for you, but there's got to be something else out there for you. And I think there's this belief system that's sitting here in your shadow that says you work and you work and you work. And the Devil card comes in here. And the Devil card is all about attachments. And it's in reverse here. And let's take a look at what this means. To me, this Devil card is about attachments and things you get addicted to, addictions, And it's in reverse here because there has been on your part, I think, maybe a resistance to looking at it. But I'm wondering here if there's because the addiction part has come out behind the 7 of Pentacles, I'm seeing here that there's some workaholism in your shadow that And you know, a lot of times when we've been raised to believe that, it's very common, where we've been raised to believe that working at something is very, very important, and putting a lot of time and effort into something, like where you're almost put on a pedestal because you're such a good worker, right? I excuse me. I see this often around people where they've been raised to believe that the harder you work, the more hours you work, the more you give of yourself, oh, people are going to give you these pats on the back. And so it really is hard for you to accept that there is another life out there, or another way of living other than just working all the time. And here's this King of Swords that comes out. The King of Swords is very much, it's your ego self. My kings in my deck are the ego self, and it's the ego that definitely would come out and continue to say to you, you know, you've got to work more, you've got to put more hours in, you have to, you know, keep working, keep going. That's the only way to get by in life. And you know, he's the king of the sword. He tries to make you believe, your ego self, that this is your real self. This is really who you are. But the shadow, it's time now when you have to start questioning your ego self that has made you work so hard, so many hours at this job that you're at, or what you do in your life. Is that really what you want to be doing all your life? And at the end of it, you're left to look at it and go, is this everything? Is this everything? Yeah, I think it's start to question now your work beliefs, and it's, I think a lot of times our workaholicism, when we become a workaholic, it's kind of covered up in society, where, oh, there's such, like I said, you're such a good worker, and society, really, it's the ego, the masculine side of us that says, yeah, you got to give of yourself, you got to give all these hours, when no, you don't. No, there's way more to life than giving all this time. And so how do you heal this? Well, you know, here you had your masculine ego side, you know, driving this work oriented ethic of, you know, you got to work hard. And then the Empress comes in and it says, this is the Major Arcana card. And she's number 3. And she's the feminine side of us. We all have this feminine side and we have this masculine side. The masculine side is our ego self that will tell you, you know, you got to keep working. This feminine side, and she's the Empress. She is in love with the body. She's in love with stillness. She's in love with slowing down so that you can start feeling some of these emotions that you have been pushing away with, you know, this workaholic part of you. And the Empress card wants you to slow down. The Empress card wants you to be still. The Empress wants you to take some time to get in touch with yourself. Because if you have this workaholic tendency that's kind of shrouded, that's covered up by what society wants you to be doing and what your ego self wants you to do, you're not going to be able to, you're not getting in touch with who you really are, your inner self. Because you have a Page of Cups here that comes out. And what I'm seeing here, and it's giving me more clarification, the tarot wants you to heal, wants you to get still and get in touch with your emotions, because you have an inner child here that needs healing. This inner child is very much, I call it the love seeker. And I'm seeing here that your inner child that needs healing is a real people pleaser. And I'm wondering if that's what you are, is this people pleaser that has a hard time saying no to people. And so you give and you give and you give of yourself. But it's really an inner part of you, an inner child, that when they were younger, they gave and gave and gave of themselves because they were trying to fix this situation that they couldn't fix when they were younger. And being this people pleaser is what they learned to do. And people pleasing is really a sign of some trauma that we need to heal when we were younger. And because we were living in this trauma, in our childhood, and you may or may not know what it is, and we all have trauma on a continuum, you took the role of a people pleaser. And that continued to play itself out in your job situation, in everything you do where you give of yourself because you're a people pleaser and you can't say no. You don't know how to say no. I think it's time here. Excuse me, the tarot wants you to come in and you look at this Emperor card, and he's another one. He's in reverse here. And I think it's a real time that you start to look at what the Emperor, what the effect, and I don't think you see the effect that this Emperor has had on you. The Emperor is this individual. He's old. He's been sitting here for a long time. He has this society, these mountains behind him. So he rules the society that lives behind him. He rules with an iron fist. He's ironclad. He has all these clothing he has on him, and he represents, Mr. Emperor represents the rules of society. The rules of society that tell you need to continue giving of yourself. You need to continue to pour all these hours out, pleasing all these people around you. This is what you need to question. The Justice card comes in here. And the Justice card says, and it's a major arcana. You have two major universal forces here that are coming in here and wanting you to listen. The Justice card is in reverse as well, because there needs to be some balance here. The Justice is all about bringing balance to something. And it is so hard, especially when you're a people pleaser, to bring balance to a situation. The word no is probably almost the shortest word in the dictionary. It's 2 letters, but it is such a difficult word for someone that is a people pleaser. They don't know that word. It's so hard. It's so hard because you need to bring balance to this situation, this people pleasing, this giving of yourself so much, because the other side to this Justice card is this sword, this authenticity. To find out who you are. Behind all this people pleasing and giving up all of yourself, it's time to find out who you are. And how do we do this? Well, here you are. You've been battling. You've been really battling. This is hard work for you, being a people pleaser. It's so hard. But the universe wants you to start putting out some boundaries for yourself. Start learning how to say no. It's so hard. It's such a hard thing to do. But it's time now that you heal this younger part of you that learned how to be a people pleaser really young in order to survive. So this is an incredible reading for you in that I know that this is all about people pleasing, and I know it's a hard thing to beat. But it has to start really, really small, because you need to start carving out some time for you, And this Hermit card says, in your shadow, it's time to carve out some time for you and go inwards and start to really feel so you can heal your inner child. And so I'm going to leave you with some videos on grounding, and that's going to help you to get back into your body and taking some time out for you and getting still. And so Gemini, I'll leave you with that, and I'll see you in June, but I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through, because this is hard work, but it's the most important journey of your life. So take care, Gemini. Bye-bye.